Hey everyone, how's it going? So, tonight I'm going to be planning my Halloween Horror Nights trip. This year, my family and I were all going to America. We live in Australia, and we're going there for a holiday. And so, yeah, we're going to go to HHN. I haven't been back since HHN30. My wife and I went right before we made the move to Australia. So, yeah, how's everyone going tonight? There we go. So, yeah, going to Orlando. Let's take a look at that. Now, let's see what houses, because it's my understanding this week they announced all the houses. So, just want to go through them all, take a look at them, see what we're in for. So, we got Stranger Things 4. I haven't finished all of Stranger Things, I'm still in season 2. But my wife and I are slowly kind of making our way through. We have until October, so I think we're kind of ahead of schedule. Um, you need your squad to resist Vecna's gruesome curse. Like 11, now's your chance to stop him once and for all as you take on the scariest season of Stranger Things yet. Oh, that's awesome. I'm really digging Stranger Things so far. I'm one of those people that when something's like mainstream, it takes me a while to get into the get into it. So I put it on my backlog, and then when HHN announced they were doing a house, I thought, well, I think now's the time to do it, so I'm not so confused when I go into the house. Um, but I believe there's a trailer out for it, so let's give that a listen.
Thanks for paying attention, Jordy.
Sorry.
Alright, just skip to exactly 32 seconds in the video.
Geez, another conspiracy theory? There's no hidden stuff in the park. Let me text Jordan. Okay, I gotta go. Ava's almost here.
Upside down.
You good? Yeah. Okay, let's go.
Escape Vecna's curse. Stranger Things. Only at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
So I assume I'll find out who Vecna is soon. Uh, Exorcist believer. An evil reawakens. Two missing girls have been found with no memory of what happened to them, but wherever they went, the ultimate evil has returned with them. Enter the most terrifying scenes from the new Blumhouse film. Now, I really dig Blumhouse movies, but I did like The Exorcist is terrifies me. So, I mean, it's not top of my list, and I don't know if we're gonna go for multiple nights or one night. If we go for one night, I'll try to get to it, but It's not top of my list. And did they come out with a trailer? Yeah, they did have a trailer for that one, so let's check that out.
This week, we'll be talking about a conspiracy over 2 decades in the making. We'll uncover the truth about what's really going on at Halloween Horror Nights. The signs are everywhere, hiding in how many times have you gone? Yes,
Drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop, drip, drop.
What the?
scream and think it's all an act. Those of us who ignore the signs and go along. What if the legend of HHN is more than just a legend?
The Exorcist Believer, only at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
Right there. Demons. Oh. The Last of Us. Again, it was mainstream. I never got into it, but it's on a backlog. I haven't played the game, and I didn't watch the show yet. The Last of Us. Step into the world of The Last of Us. You and your squad will encounter the haunting and overgrown world of the video game in a brand new, terrifying way. Stay silent, if you want to survive the multitude of clickers, haunters, and more.
Guys, I'm telling you, it's real.
Why are you so obsessed with this universal legend?
Oh. Those are the two from the other two trailers.
You think I'd be used to them by now?
Thanks for paying attention, Jordy.
Sorry.
All right, just skip to exactly 32 seconds in the video and
Jeez, another conspiracy theory? There's no hidden stuff in the park.
Hey, are you guys seeing this?
Step into the world of The Last of Us. Only at Universal's Halloween Horror Nights.
Can't wait. Yeah, I heard about this one, the Chucky one. I think this was like the first
I'm
house
Chucky.
announced.
Wanna play?
Yeah, that's right. I'm back. And I'll see you suckers at Universal Studios Halloween Horror Nights next year.
An all-new haunted house, inspired by the hit USA sci-fi series Chucky, is coming in 2023 to Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Orlando Resort and Universal Studios Hollywood.
I can't wait to play.
And catch new episodes of Chucky, Wednesdays at 9 on USA and Sci-Fi.
I'm glad they went with the original Chucky and not the Mark Hamill one. That was awful. Although it had an interesting premise. Instead of it being the soul of a killer, it was a doll with corrupted, like a robot, like Megan kind of thing. I thought that was kind of cool. He's hijacked his own haunted house with all kinds of bloody hijinks. You and your friends must try to survive his ultimate kill count. So it's like he knows he's in a haunted house, I imagine, and He's having fun with us. This is my number one house, the Universal Monsters Unmasked house. I was so gutted last year when I missed Collides with the Wolfman, Dracula, and the Mummy. But this one, unfortunately, I don't think there's a trailer for it, but descend into the Paris catacombs where you and your squad will face a new horde of monsters. Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, Phantom of the Opera, Hunchback of Notre Dame, and the Invisible Man. Yeah, that's like, I know when you look at the tips, they tell you to start at the back of the park and then go forward. I'm going straight for this house. And then we got Dr. Oddfellow's Twisted Origins. You won't be able to resist going inside Dr. Oddfellow's menacing menagerie. Twisted oddities, but the price you and your friends are steep. The cost of your souls to feed his immortal power. See, that, I understand that there's, from my understanding, the icons all have like an unelaborate backstory, and it all stems from Oddfellow, like Jack the Clown. And that's the thing that I love most about HHN. It's very much like, it always reminds me of Batman Arkham Asylum, where you're running through an area and it's got Easter eggs and nods, you know, and little stories that are being told, and they're all, this is like a culmination of 32 years, and it all stems from this, so we're kind of getting that origin. I think that's super cool. And Discovery Universal, the podcast, actually has been putting out tie-in stories. They did it, I think they did it last year as well, where you have these stories that are elaborated, telling you like things that happen before you go through the house. So this one, for this year, I think it tells, there's different scare zones, and it kind of ties in with these stories that talking about Oddfellow's origin, where he goes. It's all one massive story, the whole event, and that's awesome. Dueling Dragons. Two warlocks of great power were turned into dragons after trying to take Merlin's spellbook. Now you and your friends are caught in their epic battle. I never experienced Dueling Dragons. I only went to Universal Orlando for the first time in 2016, so this was gone, and Hagrid's motorbike journey was there, and I've heard nothing but good things about Dueling Dragons, but it's really weird to see it in a haunted house. Like, how can a roller coaster be scary, you know? So I wonder, I'm kind of thinking this one's gonna, I don't know. I don't foresee it being scary, right? But I could be wrong. Yeti Campground Kills. This is the third one that I'm like, yeah, I have 3 that I want to make sure I hit. And if I can just hit all 3, then going to the event will be a success. This is the third one. You and your friends are about to venture into a 1950s campground overrun by huge menacing Yetis who rip apart anyone who get in their way. You must flee to the Ranger Tower to escape. I don't know why. I just, I think the Yeti is a cool thing. It's not Sasquatch, it's Yeti. It's a snow Bigfoot. I don't know. I think it's going to be fun. The Darkest Deal. Blues musician Pine Straw Spruce. Good name. Will have to face the music after meeting with the Collector and trading his soul for musical glory. You and your squad learn the terrible price of fame. So he sells his soul to the devil and has to deal with the consequences. Blood Moon Dark Offering. In a colonial-era village, moon worshippers witness the blood moon at their fall festival. They take it as a sign to hunt down any non-followers, including you and your Scream Squad. Ah, awesome. Well, get your tickets up to terror. Warning, this event may be too intense for young children and not recommended for children under the age of 13. No costumes or costume masks allowed. So yeah, and for all of you who don't know, HHN is its own separate ticketed event. So if you go to the park with a regular admission ticket and you think you're going to get in, unfortunately that's not the case. You have to pay a separate fee to do this one. I definitely wanted to stay and Scream, but we have a kid too, so we have to figure out the logistics of, you know, we're going with her grandparents, aunts, and uncles, so, you know, handing them off to them for the night so that my wife and I can have a date night in the park would be, we need to figure that out. And I think, what's it, 10 houses and scare zones. Yeah, 5 sinister scare zones. If you think you can relax outside the haunted houses, you're dead wrong. Our scare zones are filled with scare actors on the prowl. So it looks like, yes. So I believe every one of the podcast episodes that revolves around HHN has a corresponding episode that goes with each scare zone. So, like Jungle of Doom, I know, has one. Vamp 69, that's like the Woodstock music festival, has something to do with vampires. Shipyard 32, I'm imagining, yeah, San Francisco, that San Francisco area of the park. Dr. Oddfellow's symbol bewares nightmarish oddities have now escaped, spreading fear and chaos in their wake. Yeah. And it has to do around the Zodiac. This whole Dr. Oddfellow's MO. Let me know in the chat if you guys have you ever been to Halloween Horror Nights, or is that something you guys are into? Do you guys like to go to haunted houses? I go every year. Well, I try to. Some sort of Halloween event. I love haunted houses. Yeah, some people love to rock climb or, you know, do something dangerous. This is like my little thing. It keeps me safe, but I live on the edge with it. I've been going to, I went to Six Flags, Busch Gardens, which was great. I love Busch Gardens. I've only done this one twice. And then when I moved, obviously, here to Australia, we had Movie World, which is essentially a Six Flags zone by Warner Brothers. They had a Fright Nights, Fright Fest, Fright Nights, I think it's called, out here. And they had, like, you know, was it Insidious? It's the one with the nun. I believe it's Insidious. It's the one. The Conjuring, that's it. Yeah. Pretty sure, yeah. The Conjuring. Yeah, that was one. They like The Conjuring, they had It, I believe. Is it It? Yeah. A Doll House one, and can't remember the other ones. It's great that, like, because in Australia Halloween isn't a big deal. It's never been, but it's starting to be bigger now. So it's nice to see that they're trying. But when your standard is like American Horror Nights, Halloween Horror Nights, and it's you know, something you gotta kind of take into effect. So what else we got? Scary good food and drinks. Yeah, I want to try pizza fries Everybody keeps talking it up. I've only made homemade ones based off of, general recipes you see online, but I want to try these HHN pizza fries. I heard the alcoholic drinks are great. Twisted taters are good. I can't wait to see. They don't have a menu, so you can't like kind of see. And then obviously merchandise. I'm coming back with a souvenir of some sort. You have to. So yeah. See what kind of tickets they offer. So you got a single night ticket, and that's $80 per person plus tax. Oh geez, I forgot about tax. In Australia, you do pay a tax, but like what you see on the shelf or on the website is what you pay. It's already got tax calculated into it, which is really nice. And I have to get ready to get back in that mindset. Driving on the other side of the road again. Tipping doesn't exist out here, so gotta remember to do that. Yeah. Halloween Horror Nights Express Pass. Get to the Fear faster and skip the regular lines one time at all haunted houses. So that might be... Wait. Event admission required and not included. Oh, so you have to buy that and then the Express Pass. Oh, where's the Express Pass? Okay, here we go. Oh, these are other passes, yeah. So this is like if you live in the area and can go all season long. I guess this would be worth it to you. I unfortunately do not. So let's see how much this is. So that's on top of the $80. So you're paying $200 per person. And that's like you're guaranteed to get all the houses, all 10 houses. Because you can just skip the lines. But yeah, $400 because it'd be me and my wife. Just to not stand in the lines. That on top of like hotels and Ubers and food and nah, I think we'll just we'll start at going straight for Universal Monsters Unmasked, and then I'm going from the back of the park forward, because everybody tends to make this mistake where they go to the first haunted house they see, and then everybody kind of bottlenecks in, and that once they get through, that's when the lines start to get big. So okay, so I think we'll just do admission parks, and then hit my first 3, and then we'll just enjoy the night from there. Do you guys have any recommendations about what to do in Orlando other than the parks? Are any of you guys avid, you from Orlando? see what else has been going on in the parks, because obviously we're gonna spend time there as well. Okay, here we go. Yep, Save the Haunted Tales at Universal Orlando Resort. We're excited to bring back Haunted Tales for the second year. Yeah. In the Channel Entertainment team. New episode every Friday. Oh, lovely couple. An immortal creature recounts the malevolent rise of a horror icon, tracing a path of carnage through decades of evil events, in a story that threads its way through Universal Orlando's Halloween Horror Nights 2023. Oh yeah, this Minions Cafe. I was very upset to hear that they tore down the Universal Monsters Cafe. That was the coolest place to eat in that entire park. I loved it. And they replaced it with the Minions. Even though Minions gets that whole street when you first walk in. And I get it, it's for kids, but like, let's not forget the house that built Universal, and that was the Universal Monsters. They were amazing. I still watch them to this day. I love watching them with our kid, you know. Yeah, it's unfortunate. Despicables. I will have to try some of this though. Maybe like the secret salmon or that Szechuan surprise. But I always do this when we go to the parks. When it gets premium, like prime hotness, heat for the day, I always go to Springfield and I get a pretzel and a beer. That is my heaven, my nirvana. Theme park pretzel and beer, overpriced, but it is so refreshing, so good. Fluffy unicorn cupcake, Swiss roll. Oh, that sounds good. It's amazing what you miss when you move out of the country. Like Reese's peanut butter cups. Can't get those here. Even the food, like the meat. Like if you get a hamburger, like McDonald's doesn't taste like McDonald's in the States. It probably has extended my life by 10 years, but it just tastes different, and it's not like a bad different, it's just different, you know. You spend, you know, most of your life growing up knowing one thing, and then that completely changes. It's a bit of an adjustment. So okay, I guess like my kid's gonna love it, this whole Minions land. She loves like contrasting colors, reds, and I'm sure yellow will definitely catch her eye. And unfortunately, like, I will not get here in time to check out the tribute store. But this is so cool. I've been looking at photos, I've been watching YouTube videos, and I would have been like a kid in a candy store here. This Jurassic Park is one of my, if not my favorite movie of all time. It's got dinosaurs, it's got Jeff Goldblum, it's got it all. It's Spielberg at his finest. Oh, besides Jaws and E.T., but it's up there. This place looks, it's amazing. It's the most beautiful thing I ever saw. Well, except my wife, of course. And from my understanding, the tribute store wasn't a Jurassic Park tribute store. It was the making of Jurassic Park tribute store. So like the act of making it. Look at that. I do think I want to get some bathroom art of that scene where he's eating Gennaro, the lawyer, and put that in the bathroom. I've always wanted to do that. The second room is a recreation of the famous Universal Studios Hollywood Soundstage 28. In here, designers were meticulous to make sure every piece built to the exact replicas of the film zones was precise what was depicted on screen. This came down to things like the makes and models of kitchen utensils and the exact size of windows. See, the attention to detail, the love and the dedication, that's what makes something like this memorable. That's what sticks to fans. That's what we want. There is one rain display that is especially setting the tone and offering a fun, kinetic energy to the scene. You truly feel as if you're in a rainy environment and could be attacked by dinosaurs when you turn any corner. If I remember correctly too, there was one time HHN happened at Islands of Adventure and they did like a Island of Dr. Moreau, where there were dinosaur human hybrids stalking you. I think it was called Evolution. I never got to experience it, but man, if I could go back to any HHN, that's the one I would do, because not only did they have Jurassic Park, but Carnage had Superhero Island under siege, and there was like props of dead superheroes everywhere, and there was like a Marvel supervillain haunted house. See if I can pull that up. Evolution.
There is no safety or security when it comes to the prehistoric creatures in Universal's Jurassic Park.
We took the theme that follows the movies, which is where the dinosaurs have gotten out of their existing cages and now roaming the island free.
And free they are. Packs of velociraptors stalk their unsuspecting prey, humans. Mutant half-men, half-dinosaurs are the hideous victims of a scientific experiment gone terribly wrong. Buried in the middle of this prehistoric predator's playground is evolution, an outdoor haunted maze.
Evolution is a fun event. The Triceratops that you see asleep in the beginning and then basically gutted at the end was really a nice touch.
The Universal designers used an existing attraction called Triceratops Discovery Trail to create this haunted maze.
Our Triceratops animatronic in Discovery Trail isn't very threatening. It's not very scary. So what we did to remedy this is we built this stockade around here and we busted up all these big holes through here to make it look as though something violent and terrifying happened in here. Then to try and get heavy, quick movement inside, we have high-powered strobes placed around the stockade. And as they fire quickly, it makes it appear as though this animal is moving very quickly. Then, of course, we have a busted up, bloodied up Dr. Burton who comes right at you at this hole. Then later on, you'll see another animatronic of Dr. Burton after he's met his demise. We wanted to show the terror and the horror of some of these half-dino, half-human creatures that Dr. Burton created in his genetics labs. So we got a prop from the movie Lost World, which we had in our warehouses here at Universal Studios, and we made it look as though it was ripped right out of the animal, as though it got torn right out, spinal cord and all. And the interesting thing is, our prop builders just used AB foam for all of this goo and gore, the same kind of insulation foam you'd find in any hardware store.
Are you ready to come face to face with a velociraptor? Then it's time to enter evolution. There is little hope for you, considering the fate of Dr. Burton. This trek through the jungle will bring you face to face with mutant creatures you've never even imagined.
Which is the best Jurassic Park ride?
You'll be the judge.
All right. Yeah, that was Project Evolution. As if the prospect of regular dinosaurs wasn't terrifying enough. Now there'd be dinosaur-human hybrids. That's actually... yeah, that's pretty scary. Celebrating theme park dads. I like that. That's my goal. I want to do an annual trip every year to back to Florida and do that with my wife and child. Revenge of the Mummy. I can't wait to ride that either. That's a good one. E.T. has the best smell. I can't wait to smell that when you're in the queue. They pump this forest smell through there, and it is the best. It's like on par with Pirates of the Caribbean. And if you've ever ridden Pirates of the Caribbean, you know what I'm talking about. That chlorine, bromine water, it smells great. This smells just as good. But I haven't gotten to experience the E.T. calling out your name at the end of the ride. It's always been down every time my wife and I would ride it. So hopefully this year, when we go in October, that it'll be up and running. I just want to hear him say my name. Yeah, let's see, tips. Let's see what kind of tips they have for HHN. Oh, date night. Perfect. That's what we're gonna do. And of course, I will always go first and lead the way in every haunted house. That's what I do. Yep, we know all about that. Ah, it's based off of Pittsburgh quarantine zone. View the full lineup ahead of time. Visit on a weeknight versus a weekday. That's pretty good to know. Definitely keep that in mind when picking my day. September is less crowded than October. I can't do anything about that. And extra time to enjoy the scare zones. That's something we love to do. It's just, especially in theme parks, it's great to ride the rides. That's awesome. But the thing that really I love to do is just look at how things are being built, how the lighting works, the attractions, how everything works. We'll definitely take the time to enjoy the scare zones. We'll watch the Lagoon Show. Splurge on an express pass. Well, I'll have to talk to my wife about that one. Book a guided tour. I took a look at those guided tours and it's not something I would just do. They're super expensive. Like that's like a 10-year anniversary present that my wife would have to give me, you know. A guided tour. They're really cool though, so you can do at night a guided tour or you can do a daytime tour. We can look at that in a second. Fuel up with signature food and drinks. I plan on doing that. Pizza, fries. Don't forget to ride some rides. Of course. Talk about your expectations and comfort level. Yeah, and I believe they have, like, there's tricks, tips for people who get scared easily. Oops. Scaredy Cat's Guide. Yeah, because I believe there's like a lanyard or something they give you. Be aware of the scares. That's, I mean, how are you gonna tell somebody to be aware of the scares? Undercover tourist. Come for the treats, stay for the treats. They are pretty good. Hop right on the rides. Well, I'd imagine with everybody standing in line for the houses, the rides would be pretty short wait. Then they have the show at the Fear Factory, not Fear Factor live stage. But I haven't really heard too much about the shows. Like, you always hear about the houses and the scare zones, but I never see anything about the shows for the most part. I mean, they have little things here and there. I like the Bill and Ted show when that was going on. Like, you'd heard about that, but do your research. No, I think there's like a Scaredy Cat. I could have sworn there was something. Maybe I thought it up in a dream or something, but I could have sworn there was one. Another good tip, though, if like you're afraid and you don't want to get scared, or you want to reduce your chances of getting scared, go on the sidewalks. Don't go down the main drag of Universal. Go on the sidewalks. They'll kind of avoid you. That I know from experience. We've not that we were scared, but we were on the sidewalk, and I remember thinking, no one's really paying attention to us. We were getting like some food, and we were like stopping for a second and watching everything go down, and then we would walk along the sidewalk, and nobody would bother us for the most part. So never go alone. Obviously, you need like a partner or a group of people. Start in the back. The haunted house near the front of the park tend to get crowded first. Start at the houses in the back of the park, and you'll be able to get half of the haunted houses done quickly. Visit early, both in time of year and time of day. September is oftentimes less crowded at the event than October is. If you come early in the event, you're more likely to beat the crowds and see more of the haunted houses. Appreciate the details. Take time to appreciate the level of detail the art and design team puts into the houses. They're movie set quality, and you may discover even more Easter eggs. Hidden Easter eggs. And then, yeah, watch the movies. That's what we're doing right now. Stranger Things, and then I'm gonna try to... I don't normally binge, so I like to, when I watch my shows, I watch one episode a night. Just like regular television. Or, you know, I couldn't justify waiting a week like old television, but I just love a cliffhanger, going to bed on a cliffhanger, and then it gets me through the day, and then at night I get to watch the next one and get through that one. So, but yeah, like I said, I think I'm going to binge The Last of Us so I can understand what's going on. Or it's not even the show, it's the game. I might, maybe I'll do a stream of me playing through the game, doing a first time playthrough beforehand so I can understand what's going on. Okay, check out these tips. Going through this here. My favorite is tip number 5. I might be mistaken then. Halloween Horror Nights, not just fear, it's fun. The first noise after a scream is a laugh. That is true. Pay attention when people scream. See if you hear a laugh. Usually. I don't think I've ever heard someone cry unless it was a child, but... I mean, I'm not telling you how to parent, but don't bring your kid to this if they're, you know, under 13. I think it's there for a reason. But hey, do what you want. These shows are outrageous with wild stunts, amazing special effects, and pulse-pounding music. I think Slash does the music. Slash from Guns N' Roses. Yeah, he's done a couple of the tracks. Being brave doesn't mean ignoring your fear. It requires you to embrace it. That's what I love. I love that feeling you go through and you get scared. Just oh, it's amazing. It's good. Beginner's Guide to HHN's lore. Over the years, Halloween Horror Nights has garnered a much-deserved following and all that goes along with it. Theories, dedicated message boards, cosplaying, fan art, and there's 2 ways to engage with the event. You can have a great time attending and taking it all for face value, or you can dig into the details and really commit to the immersion. I would recommend, if you're gonna do this, that's the way to go. Really, like I've watched the videos on the history of Jack the Clown, Chance, the director, the caretaker, Eddie, Cindy, so you got the usher, and the storyteller, Fear. It just makes for a better experience when you can say, oh yeah, that's connected to this and that. There's plenty of other icons I didn't mention. And then you got Oddfellow, who's the center of all of this. And we've never seen him before, and this year, for the last 2 years, they haven't really moved forward with the narrative of the icons, and I think this is the year they're gonna really bust open the gates and start telling better stories. Obviously with, you know, the world shutting down for almost 3 years, they didn't really make too much headway with that, and they couldn't. But now I think they're kind of getting back into the swing of things. So it started in 1991 under the name of Fright Nights. However, the studio's legacy in the horror space dates back decades earlier to the golden age of cinema. They made the iconic monsters, Dracula, the Mummy, the Wolfman, Bride of Frankenstein, and it really built the house that Universal sits on. In 1992, the experience was officially renamed Halloween Horror Nights and became an annual event. What began as a 3-night haunting has since evolved to span many select nights between September and October, and I believe this year they've opened it to the first 4 days of November. Although the event was primarily taking place inside Universal Studios Florida, there was a brief period from 2002 to 2005 where Islands of Adventure got in on the fun. Maybe I'll do a dedicated video to all of this stuff. But, you know, you have the language to the houses. Those are obviously the haunted houses. The icons were the central figures of the event. So you'd have, like, Jack would be, everything would revolve around Jack for that event. You have Chance, Fear, the director, the usher, the caretaker, Cindy, the storyteller, Lady Luck, and then you had the Terror Queen, There's a lot. Bloody Mary was one. 2008, apparently Bloody Mary, and it's the only time we've ever used her. She was the best. The best icon. It was like the most immersive event they did. Scare zones. IP is intellectual property. That's like their own, you know, material that they come up with. So like the icons are IP. Original content. Scare actors. Boo holes. Those are the little crevices and jumping spots that would be designated specifically to mask the characters who are waiting to jump out. Sif. Stuff in face. So these are your original icons. You got Jack the Clown. Terrifying bloke. You got the Caretaker. Yeah, I think I'll do a video on these. The Director. I don't have a picture of him, but he kind of looks like, what's his face? Rosemary's Baby. I forget his name. The Usher. The Storyteller, who they don't have a picture of her either. And Chance. Lady Luck. No picture of her either. Fear. Aduru. And then you have reoccurring characters like the Pumpkin Lord. I think he was there last year. Boris Schuster. He's a private eye. He's like a good guy. He's always at odds with what was it? Bloody Mary. They were like nemesis. Legendary Truth is like a what do you call it? It's like a society. Terror Queen. Eddie. Cindy Kane, which is the daughter of the Caretaker. Body Collectors. And you got Samuel Meats and Meaty Meats. The Legions of Horror. And on and on and on. Right. The Dogs of War. Bone. Anyways, yeah, so that is my stream for the night, guys. Thank you for spending that time with me. I appreciate it. If you liked tonight or you have any suggestions or whatever, like and subscribe so you can stay up to date with when I'm going to go again. Alright, guys, so have a good night. Be good to each other, and I'll see you out there.